Doing some writing and stuff, singing what I'm doing for no good reason, and singing it so badly. Ahoy, ahoy. Yeah, speak to me.
Do you like scary movies?
Dude, seriously, get with the times. I sent the promo. If you're gonna do this kind of stupid crap, watch the promo. We're not doing movies. We're doing TV shows today, okay? So, get off this line. Idiots, not even watch the promo. Asking me about, do I like a scary movie? Well, yes, but we're talking about TV shows, not movies, huh? This guy again.
But I want to talk about the movies.
Yes, yes, yes.
But it's called a Bat movie, not a Bat TV show.
Look, seriously, dude. Call back next year. We'll maybe do movies again then. But for now, shut your pie hole. One thing I don't like about cell phones, one thing I loved about the old style phones was that if you was angry with someone, you could just slam it down and they could hear it on the other line. You can't do this. It's like, It has no effect. I miss old phones in your house. They were fun. Spend time walking around, talking with your phone and your friend, and being limited to an extension. It was kind of fun. Again. Hold on 1 second, please. Look, you giant ass right. If you call here again, I swear to God, I'm gonna rip out your guts, put them through your nose, back through your mouth, and freaking floss your teeth with your innards. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mum. Can I call you back? Thank you. Okay. I swear to God, this is gonna be the last time.
Welcome to Movie Phone. How can I help you?
Okay. Okay. Okay then.
Press 1 if you want to die. Press 2 if you want to die. Press 3 if you want to eat a rotten skunk's asshole.
I don't know if you remember what movie phone was, but that was some messed up movie phone I just got there. So, I'm gonna guess you can probably tell what I'm gonna talk about now. Look, Scream. The movies are great. I love the Scream movies. Some of my favorite horror movies of all time. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of good horror movies out there. But especially the first one, or the first two, were just, generational. They really defined a whole new genre of horror. Well, they didn't create it, but it really helped define it. And, you have Wes Craven at the helm, of course you're going to get good results. I mean, it's Wes Craven, for Christ's sake. How many iconic horror movies has that guy made? And, they were scary, they were slasher, they were funny in multiple ways. Great, great movies. Like I said, I enjoyed all the movies in the series. The latter ones weren't as good, but they weren't bad. They're still enjoyable. And, I think you have to give up for the first movie. I mean, just the cast alone was just fantastic, and it relaunched Drew Barrymore's career, so that was always an added bonus we got with that. But it also launched Neve Campbell's career, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard's career. It helped keep Courtney Cox's career, David Arquette's, and on and on and on. And the second movie was good as well. And one thing that was really good about the movies is that, I'm not going to say who lives and who dies, but some of the cast members came back again and again and again. So you get to follow their lives and you really become invested in the characters and who they are and who you want to see die and who you don't want to see die. And obviously, those who you don't want to see die, if they die, then you're really upset and you feel generally, sad about it because you've followed these characters for so many movies, for so many years. Now, that's an interesting thing, just on a side topic. Why are all the really good horror movies, franchises, the ones that you enjoy that last more than just one or two movies, why is it always the first two that are so good? And then not as good later on. I'm not sure about that. I mean, the Halloween movies 1 and 2 were great. Friday the 13th with Nightmare on Elm Street. Hell, even Ghoulies. It's an interesting topic, but not for now. So, Scream was a sensation. It was all over the place in the 90s. If you were a teenager in the 90s, you knew what Scream was because everybody was talking about it. It was a breath of fresh air. And that's the other nice thing about the movies. Each movie installment did keep it fresh and kind of original. Again, Wes Craven, thank you very much. But of course, like all things that do really, really well, they always have to make an offshoot on it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Scream, the TV show. Now, I actually watched it for the first time this year, actually, so I could talk about it on this Halloween special. I know it's really strange. I never actually watched the show, even though I love the movies. And probably a part of that is because I did love the movies. I didn't want it to ruin the franchise for me. But I had to sit through it. I watched it. And now time for a review. So, let's just get the plot out of the way with. It's basically pretty much the same plot as the Scream movies. There's a mass killer going around slashing people. There's some type of history in the small town and why this killer is doing the murders. And that's pretty much it. I mean, yes, obviously there's more details about, the history and why they're doing it to these people, but not these people. And all that kind of stuff. There's obviously more to it, but your basic storyline is people did something bad a long time ago, slasher come back, kill, 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 kill. Yeah, fair enough. It's just a slasher TV show. It doesn't have to be too in-depth. In fact, sometimes when they get things too in-depth, it ends up ruining the show anyway. So I'm actually kind of thankful they did that. But basically, it's these high school students, and one of them, and they're being picked off one at a time. Obviously, you have the main focal female lead, the final girl, if you will. And she's the one who's continuously being harassed. It obviously revolves around her life and something that happened in her family. Then you have her friends that, also become part of it. Either the killer's killing them to get to her or part of their history as well intertwines all together. So there's not much more to really say about the show or in terms of the storyline. So let's just get down to brass tacks. What did I think about this TV show? In many respects, the first 2 seasons, especially the first season, I have the same kind of complaints that I did with the Chucky TV show. In that the characters are kind of just bland. You really don't care much about them and what happens to them. Now, I say that changes in season 2. I think partly because season 1 you really don't care, and season 2 the writers did a better job. And maybe because a little bit you did get to understand some of the characters through season 1. And same with Chucky as well, is that somebody dies and it seems like the next day they're fine. Like, oh, someone died, okay, I'm just going to carry on. So either they're just heartless ghouls, or there's been a long amount of time between the killings. So you have no idea about what's happening in timeline-wise. And that really just takes you out of the show as well. No matter the answer, either they're heartless or they're just not doing a good description of the timeline, it really takes you out of the show. And looking back on it, it has to be that they're heartless. Because if it's been like 6 months to a year since the last killing, it's not as going to be as shocking to the rest of the town when someone else turns up dead. The point that makes it so shocking is so many people are dying so quickly in such a horrendous way. So that leads to that these characters are really poorly written. And unlike the Chucky show, though, I will give them this. The actors didn't do a bad job. I thought they were pretty good in this, and they played the roles pretty well. I have a feeling this came down to a couple of things. And if anybody who's involved in the show happens to watch this, please let me know if I'm wrong. But it feels like, A, it was a money grab, and they wanted to get it done ASAP because it came out about the same time as the 6th movie came out. And that had a lot of hubbub about it. And the production company for the movie really was aiming to make money back on the franchise. So I think this was like a backup plan to make more money. Second of all, time constraints. Again, trying to be released about the same time as that movie. It could be that they were told only like a month or two before the movie came out, hey, we're making a TV show. Go, 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 go. That does happen from time to time. They're just not given any notification. Especially look at like old video games. They did that all the time. Oh, new movie's coming out next week and we need a video game. Go make it. You too. Third reason as well is I don't want to badmouth people because it is a very hard thing to do. What they did is I was reading some of the script writers and some of their history and the stuff that they've done. And a lot of stuff that they did, I just didn't like. I've never valued it as a good script on any of the shows that they've done before this or movies. And also the production assistants, I looked up some of their history as well. It's like, everything's just a bit, So it could be one of those things. It could be more than one of the things. It could be all of those things. But I just feel the script was very bland. And the characters weren't very flush. But again, this was not the actors' fault. Unlike the Chucky show, the actors, I think, did do a pretty good job. And they brought as much as they could out of the characters they were given. Saying that, there are some good points to this show, okay? Good point number one, some of the deaths are fun to watch. It does also feel like Scream in many ways. The way they kind of made it a bit more tense, the way they try to make you guess who the killer is and why they're killing. They did do a pretty good job of that. It did feel like part of the Scream franchise. Saying that, though, it did feel like it's missing something, and I think I know what that one thing that's missing. Wes Craven. I mean, Wes Craven is really, the god of horror movies. Whatever he touches is gold, basically. And he didn't really have any work to do with this show, for obvious reasons. But I really feel like if Wes Craven decided or was part of this show, it could have been and would have been a lot better. It just was missing that magical Craven feel to it. Other good points is the soundtrack's pretty good. I enjoyed the soundtrack. Again, unlike Chucky, the music actually matched the scenes that are going on, be it the score for the show or a track that they used from another artist. It fit well. Unlike Chucky, where they just put any old song together and it made no sense, and not in that fun, ironic kind of way. So, season 2, I found was, in many ways, and technically speaking, far superior to season 1. I preferred the story in season 1. I thought season 2 went a bit above and beyond for what it needed to be, but it wasn't bad. But as an overall season, I'd say season 2 is better. You get more into the characters. The actors do a better job with it because I think they've been given more stuff to work with. And overall, season 2, I did find enjoyable. And it's not like I found season 1 unenjoyable. It's just watching it from a technical standpoint and from a love of the Scream movies, I always felt a little bit let down. And that could also be part of it is, like I said before, I loved the movies. They had a lot to live up to. So, I'm going to tell you something though, and I hope this helps you if you decide to watch all the seasons. Season 3 threw me off a lot. I kept on looking around saying, hey, did someone upload the wrong video for this? Is this really thing? I kept on fast forwarding saying, okay, maybe this is like a side story, or they're going to meet up, like these characters now are going to meet up with the characters from the first 2 seasons. And I even got into episode 2. Still, nobody from the original series 1 and 2 in it. So I'm figuring what the hell's going on. So I did what I should have done from the very beginning, is look it up. Season 3 has nothing to do with season 1 and 2. It's basically a reboot. But they call it Scream Season 3, which is really freaking frustrating. At least call it Scream, maybe the new story, or Scream, the reboot, or Scream, hey, this has got nothing to do with season 1 and 2, so just ignore everything that happened in the past and carry on watching this show for what it is as a separate entity. Yeah, that'd be a long title, but that's exactly what it is. And for the fact that you're going into this and you don't know this is really frustrating. I mean, this is just something they could have dealt with off the bat, not to piss off fans. And I can't speak for other people, but I would imagine people who really enjoyed the shows, like the people who might have really became invested in the characters in season 1 and 2, not myself, but other people might have, would be super pissed about this. Is it that hard to tell people? No, it's not. Okay? So please, in future, TV executives, if you do something like this, tell us. Give us some kind of warning. Because it's so damn annoying. But I digress. Season 3, like I said, has got nothing to do with season 1 and 2. It's got none of the characters and nothing else. In many ways, I enjoyed season 3 a lot more than season 1 and 2. But in many ways, I didn't. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to mention about season 1 and 2, and that's the mask of the killer. I did not like it. I hated it. It was just keep with the original Ghostface, okay? They tried changing it, and I can kind of understand why they did, but the Ghostface mask is so iconic. When you try to change it to something else and you're using the name Scream in your show, don't. It's just a stupid move. And I feel like they kept it in season 2 because they backed themselves in a corner. And this could be part of the reasons why they did season 3 completely different, just on the mask alone, so they could get away from that horrible mistake that they made. But season 3 has the original Ghostface mask back. And you're like, yay! That mask is back. Because it is iconic. We all know what that Ghostface mask is. When we watch if you saw a picture, a movie, a TV show with that mask on, we know what it is. Season 1 and 2, you look at that, it's like, wow, that is one horrible design. What the hell am I watching? So, in many ways, season 3 almost feels more like Scream. In the way they build it up, the way they make the story go further back, it does feel more like a Scream TV show than the first 2 seasons. Apart from one thing, and this is my own hang-up, okay, is that it's in a city. Well, for me, I feel Scream, it was always best, like, be it on a small town or a college campus, but a small enclosed area, not a big sprawling city. Again, there's nothing wrong with it being in the city. I think it's a kind of refreshing idea, but I think, you just come to expect certain things from a series that's been going on for so long where they were mostly in the same area. So I understand that maybe they're trying to expand it and they just wanted a different feel. So I get that. For me, it didn't work out so well, but I can appreciate what the creators were trying to do, and I could understand how people would really like this change. So, this is not a negative, it's not a bad thing, it's just a personal thing. The actors, I thought did a good job. The script was well done. It did have me guessing kind of towards the end. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I kind of figured it out with 2 episodes left. But it was still kind of a head scratcher. The death scenes were really well done. There was a lot to like about season 3. I feel if they put as much work and care in season 3, and they put that in the first 2 seasons of season 1 and 2, season 1 and 2 would have been really good. But it feels like season 3, they said, okay, we've got a chance to redo our mistakes. We realized that we made big blunders in the first 2 seasons. Let's try and fix this. Let's try and make our characters more 3-dimensional. Because guess what? In this, when someone dies, even the next couple of days, the people are sad and upset and scared and looking around them and feeling nervous. Like you would in real life. Like you would in the movies as well. God damn it, that first season really annoyed me. Also, Chucky. What's going on with writers these days? Seriously. But, sorry. That's my own personal mental problem I'm going through with some TV shows and movies recently. So who would this like? If you're a fan of the Scream show, if you're a fan of the Scream movies, it could be a double-edged sword. You're either going to enjoy this, or you're going to feel that maybe they've ruined it for you because it's not quite like the movies. So beware. If you really enjoyed the movies, maybe not watch it. If you enjoyed the movies and you thought they were okay, then maybe watch it. But if you're a really diehard Scream fan, you might find yourself in a disappointed way. I say this show is a good way for younger viewers to start getting into slasher movies. When I say younger, okay, I'm talking about, mid to late teenagers. I'm not saying send your 7-year-olds start watching this, but, 15, 16-year-olds, I think this is probably a pretty good starting point. It does give references and nods to other slasher movies, so it helps key that in for you. And I think it'd be a good starting point for people who don't really know anything about slasher movies. So there is that. Anyway, I finally did what this bozo said. I did the Scream the TV show. I finally watched it. Now, I'm going to track this bastard down because, we have GPS these days. And I'm going to go make him eat his own toenails. That's right. Eat his own toenails. I'm not going to kill him. But I will make him sit there for the next year eating nothing but toenails. Think about how bad that would be. All right. Wish me luck.